Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High Yahawah. He is the Ancient of Days, He exists. Secondly, to His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI, to whom was given all power, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who will save us and change us out of our vile bodies. And thirdly, to the Rakakadash, which is the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth. I'd like to give double honors to the elders of GMS who rule well, and like to say Shalom to you Akim Akwat out there listening. Okay? Now today, we just got a brief little impromptu going into the fact how, this devil is moving, right? This devil is moving forward with a New World Order agenda. All right, they moving forward with this Operation Warp Speed, right? They go to get these vaccines out quick, right? They moving quick, okay? Literally, the scripture told us, the Most High, for the elect's sake, He will shorten the days, okay? And not only that, going into the, let me grab it real quick. Revelation 12 and 12, okay? Therefore rejoice ye heaven, okay? And ye that dwell in them, speaking on behalf of the elect, right? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he had but a short time, okay? We here, okay? We here. This devil is coming down with the great wrath, all right? I got, several different articles that I'm gonna go into today, just concerning these upcoming vaccinations, right? These upcoming lockdowns, how they tighten it down again, right? Just like in March, right at the beginning of the year, when all these things first start kicking off, and they start adding more restrictions, they start blaming COVID, right? Accelerating the numbers through the roof. Okay, we in those stages again, right? And we knew coming into this fall, right? Going into, how they termed it, is going to be a very dark winter, right? We knew going into this fall, that these things were going to kick off again, right? But not only that, this time around, right? Expect more draconian measures, okay? Expect more severe lockdowns, right? Expect martial law troops, okay? Expect all of these things, because this is it, right? This devil is moving forward, right? This is his last effort, his last push to establish, their beast system, okay? And this first article reads, 100 million. Biden also said he believed that the virus can be brought under enough control to reopen the majority of schools within his first 100 days. Biden vows 100 million shots in his first 100 days. Okay, and not only that, I don't know what they doing with this number 100, but he also has said he wanted Americans to wear masks for the first 100 days while he was in office. Okay, so they're throwing this number around a lot, but nonetheless, right? We see how they're making their move. Okay, we've been waiting and we've been waiting and we've been waiting, but we're living in a time to where this devil's making his move. Okay, and we can see that, right? He's coming down with that great wrath. All right, this Thursday, couple days, the vaccine will get approved. I saw an article earlier today that was saying the Pfizer vaccine or whatever, it's pretty much the FDA was saying that it's looking good or whatever, so it's gonna get approved, right? And not only that, Kansas City, right? They've already pretty much the day after this vaccine is approved, and I believe I'm gonna grab it in one of these articles, but they're pretty much prepared to start, right? With certain elderly, I believe elderly and healthcare facilities, right? And I'm gonna grab it in a minute, but the stage is set to where the move is being made. Okay, the Most High, He's ramping things back up again. Okay, He's ramping things back up. And this leads us to believe, through the Spirit, that the elect are about sealed. Okay, so let me jump into these articles. All right, let's see. All right, the first one. Employers debate whether to require COVID-19 vaccines for workers. Okay, companies will soon face a tough decision about whether to require their employees to get vaccinated for COVID-19 as a condition for returning to work. Okay, and we know, I believe I have another article, but it's gonna be they're gonna pass it as though it's legal. Okay, it's gonna be they're gonna allow for employers, right, to either fire you if you don't show proof of vaccination. Okay, let's see what else it says. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna leave that one off right there because I have some more going into this. These employers, right, requiring these vaccinations. I'm gonna get this one in a minute. Let's see. All right, here we go. It says, yes, your boss can fire you if you refuse to get a COVID vaccine. Okay, companies are considering a compulsory COVID vaccination requirements as a condition of employment. Under the law, an employer can force an employee to get vaccinated, and if they don't, fire them, said Rogue Dunn, a Dallas labor and employment attorney. All right, anti-discrimination laws would enable eligible employees to request an exemption from a company-wide coronavirus vaccine mandate. Right, and ultimately, you're not going to be able to be exempt from this. Okay. They're already deeming it to where you're not going to have any religious exemptions from the vaccine. So they're going to indirectly make it to where if you don't have this vaccine, right, you don't accept their new beast system, right? And we can see that this is pretty much the picture that they're painting. The country's first COVID vaccine could be authorized for emergency use as soon as Thursday. If Pfizer and BioNTech get the green light, distribution is set to begin within days. Okay, they're moving, right? Things are ramping back up again, right, and rapidly. Okay, now let's go to this next article because how they're saying whether or not it's forced on a forceful level, depending on where you're at, or whether it's indirectly forced, right? It's going to be forced. It's going to be, there's going to be no way around it, right? This article reads, yes, some Americans may be required to get a COVID-19 vaccine, but not by the federal government, okay? And we're going to see how, they're going to be slick with this, right? This is why the scriptures call them the serpent, right? Because they're very meticulous and slick, right, with the way they operate with their policies and things. Okay, that's why scriptures say he had two horns like a lamb but spoke like a dragon, right? Speaking of the Democrats and the Republicans, right, ultimately this government system, they come off right, saying, these things won't be forced or whatever the case may be, not by the federal government, right? But let's see what the article says, right? Let's see if they're just, if you refuse to take the vaccine, are you going to continue to be able to live in this society as normal? All right. With 2 coronavirus vaccines under emergency review by the Food and Drug Administration, the nation's attention is turning to who will get the vaccine first and when. A big question remains. Will Americans be required to get vaccinated? Or in other words, will Americans be forced to get vaccinated? All right. For some, the short answer is yes. Public health and legal experts say, but a mandate is not likely anytime soon. Let's see about that. And likely not to come from the federal government. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. Instead, employers and states may condition return or access to workplaces, schools, and colleges upon getting the vaccine and mandate it once the FDA issues full approval, potentially months later. And not only that, right? We know that these grocery stores, right? The same places wherein they say no mask, no entry, right, are going to be the same places where if you don't have that COVID ID, so like if you don't have that COVID card, right, that they have out, or ultimately leading up to that the RFID chip that's going to contain your COVID ID, right, you're not going to be able to enter. Okay, this is what we're coming into. This is the whole beast. This is the New World Order beast system agenda. Okay, this is what why the scriptures say be as pilgrims in these days, because we have to completely separate spiritually, mentally, and physically from Babylon, right? That's why scriptures say come out of her, my people, spiritually, because we have to be prepared, that to not live in this society, Okay, and it's not that we care to anyways, because it has nothing to offer, but this is this, we're here, right? We're here. Okay. Let's see. It is much more likely that a private organization or company will require you to be vaccinated to get certain access to places. People worry about the president, governor, or country, or so like your county executive telling what to do. I don't think that's going to happen. And then, okay, I'm gonna leave it off right there. But these vaccines are going to be forced one way or another. They're going to push this beast system agenda, right? This new world order agenda on you, right? There's no getting around it. Okay, let's see. Let's go out this one real quick. Okay, Dr. Fauci expects draconian lockdowns. Okay, here next. Okay, in this article, this one is mainly going into California. Okay, because California is pretty much already on a second lockdown, right? They started a few days ago, or it's like I believe it was a few days ago. And they've already started imposing more draconian restrictions. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can. Okay, I'm gonna start right here. In fact, California Governor Gavin Newsom announced that he is pulling the emergency brake and said regions of the state will be locking down in the next few days, with restrictions applying to regions where hospitals are on the brink of capacity. The bottom line is if we don't act now, our hospital system will be overwhelmed. Okay, and this is kind of how they're pushing these second lockdown, right? They're saying how the healthcare facilities in these hospitals are becoming overran. Okay, and they're saying there's nothing else to do, right, to stop these surges, besides imposing another lockdown. Okay, and we knew these things were coming, right? Because ultimately they need to lock this place back down again, right? To completely try to usher in their beast system. Let's see what it says. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one off right there. But draconian laws and draconian measures, they're coming. Okay, they're coming. He's coming, right? They're coming with the stage is set, all right, and things are ramped back up again. Okay, let's see what this one reads. Okay, the COVID-19 worst case scenario is coming, expert says. The worst case scenario for the coronavirus pandemic is likely to come in the next few months despite positive vaccine news. And there's nothing positive about the vaccine. So, Dr. Lynn Owen, an emergency medicine physician, recently told CNN the United States may soon see the worst case scenario when it comes to the pandemic. Wynn said the United States will see the worst case scenario in terms of overwhelmed hospitals, see there it goes again, in terms of death count during the pandemic, even as positive vaccine news continues to trickle out. There's just so much virus in our communities right now. Yeah, sure there is. Let's see. Dr. Robert Redfield, director of the CDC, warned Americans earlier this week that the United States will soon face the most difficult in the public health history of this nation. Okay? A time, like scripture tells us, a time like never before, right? Has never been seen and never will be again. Okay? All right, and we know not only that, right? They say the most difficult in the public health history of this nation, right? So in the public health section, right? Not only that, in the economic section as well, right? This pandemic has done more economic damage, right, so far, right, than the Great Depression of the 1930s has. Okay, this place is destroyed, right? Babylon is falling, right, at a rapid rate. Okay, and there's nothing that can be done that can heal Babylon. Okay, it's at a stage to where it's wounded, right, and it cannot recover. It cannot recover. And it reads, so we are at a very critical time right now about being able to maintain the resilience of our healthcare system. Redfield said, the reality is December and January and February are going to be rough times. I actually believe they're going to be the most difficult in the public health history of this nation, largely because of the stress that's going to be put on our healthcare system. Okay, so you see, they're continuing to push the narrative that this healthcare system, right, these facilities are getting overran. Okay, so this is, another way they're going to probably, try to push the fact that they're going to need medical martial law, right? That they're going to need the martial law to administer these vaccinations because the healthcare facilities are getting overran, right? And they can't allow regular healthcare workers to do it because they're just not enough. Okay, there's not enough healthcare workers. And we know Trump on multiple occasions, right, has said, they fully plan on, using the military, right, to administer these vaccinations. And I believe I'll have an article, or Salakia. I'm gonna see if I can grab it in a minute. Okay. Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna leave that one off right there. Okay. Let's see what else we got. I'm gonna grab this one about Kansas City. Okay. What you need to know as the COVID-19 vaccine arrives in Kansas City. Okay. The University of Kansas Health System says it could begin administering a COVID-19 vaccine by Friday. Okay. So, the vaccine's supposed to get approved on Thursday, right? You see how such of a quick turnaround this is? Literally says it could begin administering by Friday. Okay, which a doctor hopes will be a game changer in the fight against the pandemic. Okay, frontline workers at the University of Kansas Health System could begin receiving their first doses of a COVID-19 vaccine as early as this Friday, the day after it's approved by the federal government. Okay, they're coming down quick. Okay, things are speeding up. Right, the Most High is speeding these prophecies up. All right, everything's speeding up. Okay, Yahawah is on his way. All right. Let's see. Skip around and throwing out numbers. When will the first round of vaccinations in Kansas City start? So those healthcare workers with the most exposure to patients could get it by Friday. Okay, so they're looking to start with healthcare workers. Okay, by Friday. All right. Okay, Stites said the hospital can begin its first round of vaccination as soon as it's approved. The Centers for Disease Control will determine the number of doses by state, and then the state will decide how many each hospital receives. Okay, because the way they have it set up is the federal government plans on distributing it to each state. And after that, each state is going to have their own distribution plans on how they're going to administer those vaccines to their respective regions. Okay. Stites said the hospital is also working with the state of Kansas and Wyandotte County to set up a plan, right, their distribution plan to vaccinate those in long-term care facilities. Okay, so we see long-term care residents and healthcare workers are going to be among the first to be vaccinated. Okay. All right. So I mean, these things are moving now. Okay. The ball is rolling again. Okay. Right. And I believe that's what I wanted to grab as far as these vaccines go. There's another article going into how their Dr. Fauci predicts when things will get really bad. Okay. Let's see. Because I believe this article goes into these claims that after middle of January. Okay. All right. Things will get bad in the middle of January. During a briefing on Monday, Fauci told New York Governor Andrew Cuomo that he expects the virus to rear its ugliest head in the new year. The middle of January could be a really dark time for us, Fauci said. Why? According to Fauci, the decreasing temperatures, Thanksgiving holiday celebrations, and then the upcoming holidays will have an amplified impact in a surge upon surge manner. Okay, you'd expect that the effect of the Thanksgiving surge would be probably another week and a week and a half from now, because it's usually 2.5 weeks from the time of the event, Fauci said. The problem is that's going to come right up to the beginning of the Christmas Hanukkah potential surge. We could start to see things really get bad in the middle of January, Fauci predicted. Okay, so with these holidays, all of these, large gathering events are just, aiding, right, in this coronavirus surges, right? And this is ultimately what they're saying. Okay, so we see, how they're blaming, these surges, right? They quoted a surge upon a surge because of these holidays, right, and the large gatherings, right? And how they plan on locking back down again because the healthcare facilities are getting overran, right? And the virus is surging again at all-time highs, But really, this devil, is ready to make his move, okay? And that's what we can see, right? According to, how things are going, right? So, let me see if I can grab this other article real quick. Okay, and it reads, New York sends mask squads to enforce social distancing in 2 countries. The DOH is responsible for community outreach and enforcement of executive orders and regulations related to the use of face coverings and social distancing to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Okay, so they're using martial law, okay? Literally, so like military personnel, martial law troops, to enforce social distancing, okay, and the use of face masks, right? And this is right around the same time where the vaccines are becoming available. So what does that tell us? They have these troops, heading to, these to all of these different states, right, in these locations, because they expect to use these troops, right, to enforce these vaccinations that are coming up, right? As Trump, constantly told us, they plan on using the military to administer the vaccines, right? And not only that, all hell is about to break loose, okay? All hell, right? All hell is about to break loose, okay? People are fed up, right? People, they don't like how Biden, wants them to wear masks for the first 100 days of his time in office, right? Or how, he plans on, 100 million shots in the first 100 days, okay? You have a lot of people who are still, anti-vaxxers, right? You have a lot of people who are still not down with the program, okay? Not only that, right? We still haven't, the tension from this election still hasn't boiled down, okay? People are still unhappy about, the election results, and we don't even have a president yet, right? It's just all of these things are boiling up, right? As we know, millions of people who've never purchased firearms before, right, are strapping up, okay? All hell is about to break loose, and the elites know this, okay? This is the reason why, they've been going out and hiding in their bunkers, right? This is the reason why, thousands of CEOs have stepped down, okay? Proceeding to Revelation chapter 7, 1-3, right? Those destroying winds are about to be released, okay? And this was just a brief little impromptu showing you, how these vaccinations and these lockdowns are imminent, right? And once this vaccine gets approved, right, we're looking at, these things just continuing to increase rapidly, more and more rampant, okay? But things are heating up again, right? Things are definitely heating up again, okay? So, we have to remain circumspect. The time is here, right? We've been waiting and waiting for something to kick off, and, as the stage is set, it looks like, these things are about to kick off again. Okay, so, we got to be prepared. Continue to gird up our loins, right? Continue to gird up our minds, right, with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so that we can be stable and comforted in these times ahead. Okay, but things is about to get real, real hot out here. All hell's about to break loose, and it's finna get Jacob's trouble, right? It's finna hit that climax, right? This great tribulation is about to kick off, full scale. Okay, so I want to give all praises to the Most High Yahawah, Ba'ashim Yahawashah, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. All right, I'm gonna say Shalom, peace and blessings. Yahawah is on his way. Stay tuned to the next lesson.